What's going on, everyone, and welcome back to episode 2 of our Olympic Lyon FM19 save. Now, I have got a bit of a confession. You'll notice straight away the league table's on the screen, 2 games played. I said I'll come to you at the beginning of the season, and you're probably wondering what's going on. I did record episode 2 yesterday. However, if you follow me on Twitter, a link to that will be in the description. You'll see that essentially what happened, I just had a bit of a malfunction with the recording. It essentially stopped after 8 minutes, halfway through the first game against Amiens. And yeah, the whole second game was completely gone. So instead of starting completely again, the game had auto-saved after the second fixture. I didn't think it was worth starting the whole save again. So I'm just going to bring you the Strasbourg game and the Nice game today. But it's probably worked out quite well for you guys because halfway through this episode, we also have the Champions League group stage draw, which I'll bring to you live as well. But I'll quickly run you through a few things that you missed. Firstly, I guess we'll start with the scheduling, seeing as we're on this screen. We did win the first game 3-0. The first 20 minutes, we looked phenomenal. As you see, got 3 goals very early on. Mendy, Depay and Fekir, all grabbing goals. Dubois, I think, got 2 assists and out with an 8.8 rating. But we did get a bit complacent towards half-time. In the second half, very sloppy. Body language is going to complacent. Our players were just giving away the ball. So we did get the 3-0 win. We didn't concede, which was good. But the second game was an absolute thriller. Again, started off very well. Inside 25 minutes, went 3-0 up. We grabbed a 4th just before half-time. But again, they started struggling. We were very sloppy in possession. We were very sluggish. They grabbed one back in the 63rd minute. They got 2 quick-fire goals in the 82nd and 83rd. And it was 4-3 at one point. We were hoofing the ball forward. We were rushing around. And I need to work on that because teams like PSG and Monaco will punish our mistakes. If we're getting sloppy in possession, it's just not going to bode well for us. We did luckily get 2 late goals from Dembele and Depay to make it look convincing, 6-3. But, watching the game live, it was very, very shaky. Also, as we, of course, missed it, I'm going to show you a few transfers we brought in, as obviously you haven't seen the squad since I last left. Marin Pongracic, we've brought in, overpaid for him. It was getting towards the end of the season. I said I need another centre-back. He's very young, got very good potential. He's come straight into the first team. He's worth 18.5 million, Croatian, very, very good. So far he's been very comfortable on the ball. One of our standout players, I'd say, alongside Mendy and Dubois at the back. We brought him in 18.5. I think, we'll at least be able to sell him for 22 in a few years' time. So we're going to definitely make a profit on him. Sanderberg I've brought in because we're going to have a lot of games this season. Need a good, squad depth. I brought him as a rotation player. Again, probably overpaid a little bit, 16.25 million. He's currently worth around 10 and a half. But I think, in the future, he's 20 years old. Again, 4.5-star potential ability. If he reaches that, for sure, we're going to make a profit. So he's a very good investment, I think. We also brought in a young Mexican. Again, just another squad player. 4-star potential ability, which is all gold. So he should reach that. Valued at 5.5 currently. We brought him in for just over that, 6.75. Again, I think we'll make a profit on him if we choose to sell him in the future. But for now, he has played 1 game for us. And I think he did 6.7, so he did very average, but he is quite young and in a new league, so can't be too harsh on him. By the way, seeing that Dubois was a free transfer, that's absolutely amazing business. He's been our standout player, I think. Him and Mendy, the 2 fullbacks, absolutely amazing in this formation. But I'll stop waffling too much. Before we get into the game, I'll just bring you the league table. PSG did have a stumbling block against Guingamp. They drew 3-3, and we've of course won both our games. We have Nice today, who could be pretty tough. So before that, we do have to get through Strasbourg, who haven't lost this season. They've got 2 draws. Hopefully, we're a lot less sloppy today than we have been in the past, because it wasn't too great. The first 20 minutes were amazing. After that, after we get a few goals lead, the team seemed to think the game's over. And it's really not. So I'm hoping, as much as I'm about to say maybe Nice give us that awakening, I'm hoping we obviously don't lose. I'm hoping we just switch on and get that into our brain as Marseille win 4-0. Elsewhere, Lopez was banned for the first 2 games, but Gorgelin did a stand-up job. With Lopez in goal, maybe, we won't be conceding 3 goals like we did last game, but we'll have to, figure that out as we go along. Oh, I should have run you through the team, actually. I completely overlooked that. I'll bring you the lineup in a minute. Here it is on screen. So, Lopez in goal, Mendy and Dubois amazing. The centre-back pairing, they're getting a good bond as well. Dombele, Toussaint and Hussein. I still don't know how to say his name. I said this last episode that you missed. Well, no one missed it, but it didn't get uploaded. I'm not sure how to say this young chap's name. I know his first name's Hussein, so I'm going to call him that from now on, or at least in the meantime. If you are familiar with the French league and how they pronounce his surname, please drop it in the comment section below. It will mean a lot. The front three of Fekir, Depay and Terrier, they've been very solid. They've been getting goals and assists all over, so hopefully they keep this fine form as we head into the game against Strasbourg. We're in the all white, well, the white with a red hint, and they're in the all blue, obviously. As they're bursting forward here, but again, Pongracic with the ball comfortably back to our goalkeeper. As Mendy now has a cracking volley. That would have been an amazing goal if it hit the back of the net, but of course the defender got in the way. Memphis has a pop from long range, and this is something we haven't really seen before in the 2 matches that I spectated. We weren't having really that many long shots, so it's interesting to see that that's what we're resorting to this game, with obviously Mendy and Depay having back-to-back efforts from outside the box. I'm hoping that's not a reoccurring theme this game. As Dubois into Dombele. Out to Hussein, who hoofs it to Memphis. He's made a lovely run. He's in behind here and over the bar. That's disappointing from us. That should be hitting the back of the net ideally, but promising. Again, the common theme we've seen in the early stages of the game is that the other teams fail to have a shot until quite late on, and this could be it for them. And as it's not, Terrier cakes it away. He's still carrying the ball. There's no one really in front of him. He does get tackled. It's a good tackle from them as they hoof it forward. But defensively, this midfield, I guess, is it a midfield 6? Because we don't really run any, Fekir apparently gets that. It looked like an own goal, but Nabil Fekir's grabbing it. But yeah, that's interrupting my trail of thought. But our midfield 3 to 6, they're very good in the ball, very good at counter-attacking. Fekir knocks that into the back of the net. Memphis Depay with another assist. I think that's his 3rd or 4th of the season. As we do move top of the league, we keep our 100% record alive, and we are top of the league above the likes of PSG and Marseille. Terrier did stop his run, but he's on to the end of it now. He just almost toe pokes it there towards the far post to keep it equal to it. It's out for a corner. Fekir whips it in. I need to work on the corners. He hasn't been beating the first man, so maybe I need to change who takes them, but a lot of the time that first defender does just head it away. So we need to definitely work on that. Maybe perhaps where he's aiming it. Maybe we need to get someone charging into that area. I'm not too sure. As they hoof it deep, and they get a corner here. So Strasbourg, we're not overly convincingly beating them here. They are, coming at us. As they toe poke it into the box. Kone back out wide. That's a great tackle by Hussein. But yeah, they've had one shot, not on target, so although 59% possession to them, so they're holding the ball very, very well. They hoof it over the top, but Pongracic equal to it. Lopez hoofs it out wide to Dubois, and we're on the attack here. Again, now we're doing Route 1 football, but it's worked out as Memphis is through, and it's 2-0. Memphis Depay with another assist for Dubois, so them two have been involved in a lot of our goals, which is good to see. I'm not really... Is that Route 1 football? I don't really know. I'm not a fan of just lumping it up to the attacking players, but it has worked out for us there. So, if you're getting a goal, you're going to take it at the end of the day. As they're now it's just like end-to-end stuff here. At this rate, centre-backs and left-backs will have the most assists in the season, because every team we've played have just resorted to this type of football. As Mendy, it bounces off his back, and that's very unfortunate. They're through on goal. It's out for a corner. But yeah, common theme that I don't know if because we suffocate a lot of teams in the midfield so that their defenders feel the need to just get it into our third, but a common strategy from the other teams is to just absolutely smack it upfield and hope that one of their strikers get on the end of it. I mean, I'm not complaining too much because it does just gift us possession. As you see, we're now up to 47% as my Norton has expired, so apologies for seeing that on screen. I'm not sure if that would have popped up for you guys, but yeah, my antivirus has apparently run out. That's never good news. Memphis now through again. He stops it on the byline and it's hoofed away. But Dubois and Memphis seem to have a nice understanding, as he's just literally hoofing it up to him every time. I've said hoofing so many times this episode, and we can't get the ball into the back of the net. It's scrambled away for a free kick to them apparently, so we must have fouled them along the way. Mendy back to our goalkeeper. Lopez must be loving the amount of possession he's had. We do bring it forward here. Fekir up to Memphis. Lovely touch. Takes it out of his body, and Terrier straight at the keeper. That's not what you want to see, really. But Mendy's having one of his more quieter games. So the first 2 games he was very, very explosive. Hasn't had the same effect this game. As Dubois is doing magnificent work. Hoops it up to Fekir, who absolutely smashes that into the net. The keeper had no chance. He does the longest roly-poly I've ever seen in my life. I'm hoping that's on the replay because that was bloody magnificent. Dubois picks the ball up there, takes a touch and hoops it straight to Fekir. First touch is lovely, finish is lovely, and here he goes. On the celebration's cut out, unfortunately, but I'll take it. 2 goals for Fekir, 2 assists for Dubois. They're loving life. And here you go, you'll see it now on the screen. Complacent, 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 all across the board. And this is where we start to get sloppy. We now mentioned that their team's now looking for overlaps, and you know, Dubois is calm, so I think he'll be alright, but Mendy being complacent, that's often where they start to attack down the, you know, the wings. I should have done the team talk myself because people have reacted negatively. Although I said Ferland Mendy's having a rough game, 100% tackles won, very impressive, but it's just looking like another stomp for us. We've scored, what, 12 goals in 3 games. Admittedly against some of maybe the weaker bottom half teams, perhaps. We haven't played really Bordeaux, Monaco, Nice, or any, you know, PSG, anyone like that yet. So we can't get too ahead of ourselves, but it's looking very good for now. It's looking, as we whip in a corner, that one's much better from Fekir. Actually gets into the box this time as he charges forward to Dombele. That's an ambitious effort. You know what, we're 3-0 up, he can have that one. I won't be too harsh on him. Around this time I do look at making subs, but I'm a bit dubious because in the past I've made subs and it's all gone horribly wrong. As Dubois here picks up, Terrier's a bit ambitious there, but I will give, let's have a look. Pineda can come on. Who out of the midfield 3? Toussaint, I'll bring him on there. I don't know if he really likes that. I'll switch them 2 around because he does love the Mazzala role. Unfortunately, Dembele's not on the bench, so I can't bring him on. I'll bring Marcelo on for Denea as he's on a yellow card. And I think for now we'll leave it at that, just in case there's any injuries, just in case there is any red cards. It's good to see that the complacent, apart from our goalkeeper's gone down. I'm not sure if that's because I'm making substitutions, that they've sort of, you know, don't want to come off the pitch. I'm not sure if that's actually a thing. But yeah, our goalkeeper's complacent, but I guess he hasn't had too many struggles as they've only had 3 shots. But the second half a lot less fruitful. This is what I've been saying. You know, the first half we're very attacking, very dominant, but you know, we seem to sort of almost switch off. I don't know if it's a good thing, because you know, end-to-end stuff can allow these lesser teams to counter-attack, which some of them obviously do prefer that style of play. So I'll take it because it does get us onto the Champions League draw a bit quicker if this game is sort of over and done with. I'll make the last substitution. We'll bring on, who's looking tired? Let's have a look here. Depay is, I don't really have... Okay, we'll bring on Traore and we'll whack him up top as a poacher. No, we're doing it as a poacher and attack. Because for some reason I've accidentally clicked complete forward there. But very convincing from us. 3-0, another clean sheet. And that's 2 in 3 games now, which is very good. And hopefully we can take this form to the game against Nice. I think that will be our first real tough opposition. You know, I think Lyon expect to beat these teams. As Bertrand Traore, it's not the best goal I've seen. It's a very good header, but the goalkeeper, I mean, with that kick he did, I don't know if you guys saw that in the background. I'm not sure who they have in goal, but they should definitely reevaluate that. He gets a hand to it, but sort of just punches it into his own goal. And then 4-0 up we are now. And it looks like they're the ones who have perhaps switched off. No action was really happening. We get forward, we get a nice cross in from Mendy, and we're 4-0 up. And this is what I mean. See, Fekir just does a very sloppy ball, and now they're through because they've hoofed it over the top. This is what I'm talking about with the counter-attacks. He goes for a cheeky chip, and Lopez is equal to it. So luckily we don't concede there. But that's exactly what I meant. You see, Fekir got the ball, he just went straight through to the striker of Traore, and it's just very sloppy. In the first half you could see that Dubois was doing these long passes, but they were very precise, and I think that's what we're lacking. There's no real way, I don't think, to fine tune our sloppiness. I think it's just something that maybe I have to shout at them a bit more in the shouts. Concentrate. Maybe I have to whack that on. I've probably done it a bit late here, seeing as the game's over. As Hussein has an ambitious strike, but with their goalkeeper, I'm not surprised he's done that. It is approaching full time here. It's a 4-0 win by the looks of things, and it's another victory for us as we're, I think, perhaps the only team to keep a 100% record. Although Seydou is through, and it's not a clean sheet. It's 4-1, which is very disappointing. A lovely finish from him though. Dubois, that's, very sloppy. This is what I mean by the sloppiness. That's a lovely finish. I'll give him that. They can have that goal. 4-1. I'm not too upset because it's a 4-1 win. You can't be upset when you win 4-1. And at the end of the day, 3 points is all that matters. I wouldn't mind if we won every game 4-3, 6-5. As long as we get the 3 points at the end of the day and the victory, that's what truly matters. As I'm hoping they don't get another one though, as I don't think they have. I think is it a free kick? It's a free kick to them, but I think the final whistle will blow because we are 45 seconds over almost. And there it is. They don't even take the kick, so I don't know what the point of that was. A 4-1 win. Mixed emotions because it's a 4-1 win. We scored 4 goals, but it's disappointing to see goals like that at the end go in. But yeah, we are the only team with an 100% record. Every other team has dropped points so far. So for that, I am happy. As Fekir sends us top. Depay's close to triggering a clause in which we'll have to pay Man United £1 million, which we don't have. I have blown the wage budget. Oh no, I can maneuver it a little bit now. Lovely. Okay, I did blow the wage budget. But apparently, through I think some loan deals, we've been able to fiddle that back into the green. Apparently Chelsea are looking at Fekir. I think in the summer, a lot of our players will be under, transfer bids. I've got to create storage space now. Apologies for all of these pop-ups. I'll try and rectify these for the next episode. But yes, on we move as a Girona loan for Terrier. I'm not accepting that. As we have the Nice scouting report, that's very defensive from them. Malang Sarr, Dante, only Jalé I recognise as well, Danilo. Very, very defensive. I don't think we're under too much threat there, to be honest. I think that may play into our hands a little bit because they look like they're probably just going to be flinging balls forward. Oh, team of the week. I'm going to go back to that. Let's go back to that now. Team of the week. Dubois, Fekir and Depay make it in alongside the likes of a lot of Marseille players. Maybe they are a big threat this season. Only one PSG player in Mbappe and Salah up top. He's having a cracking season. 4 goals in 3 games for them. So all the best to him. As Salzburg do qualify for the Champions League. I think what I'm going to do in future episodes is maybe cut in between games because where I have so many leagues loaded, the loading times here are a bit extensive, and I mean, I'm sure you guys don't want to see me just clicking through, hundreds of times to each game. So unless anything of importance comes through, like a Champions League group draw, then yeah, I'm just going to cut that from future episodes. So there may be a bit of some, weird cutting going on until I sort of fix up my editing skills because I'm not the best at editing. So just a word of warning that may happen. So we've been paid a bonus of 900k because Valencia have reached the Champions League. Because Mariano went to Real Madrid, we've received 2.7 million. Although we've paid out a lot of bonuses, so we've pretty much lost all that money. But we do get 13.7 practically for getting to the group stage, which is very good for, we've got a very good balance actually, and 10 million profit this season. So it looks like my transfer signings haven't destroyed our budget too badly. But here is the Champions League group stage draw. We're seeded 3rd, which I think is quite interesting because we obviously get to see which groups we want to avoid as Lokomotiv Moscow in pot 1. So we're going to skip through pot 1 Have a quick look at pot 2. Some good teams in there. Obviously Dortmund, Man United, Benfica, Tottenham, Napoli, Porto, some of the stronger ones. But we'll have a look here. So Group A is not looking too devilish. We can't obviously go into Group D. Group E I'd like to avoid along with F. I think the other ones we could definitely manage top 2 in Group A. Group B, so far I reckon we could manage top 2. Group C is tricky. Group D we can't go into. Group E I want to avoid because that's looking like we'll end up in Europa League. As with Group F. Group G I reckon we could probably better Porto and end up second in that. And I think Group H we could squeeze through as well. Although thinking about it, I'm not sure Europa League would be too disastrous. I think we could go on to win that. As Schalke goes into Group A, so we are in this pot, so we are getting drawn out here somewhere. Obviously Monaco, another French team that can't go into Group D. Let's see what happens as Liverpool get Bayern Munich. We luckily agreed Group C, which is good. Salzburg going to Group D. I don't want this group, which Roma get. Thank God we dodged that. I don't want this one either. Monaco get that. That's a very, very tough group. So I think we're in with Juventus, which isn't disastrous. We do have to play Ronaldo. But I think that's not too bad. And looking at it, I think we're going to end up with someone like Valencia, I think. And I think if we get Valencia, I think we have a very entertaining group. We don't get Valencia as they're drawn into Pot A, Bruges into B, Malmo, Young Boys, Hoffenheim. So Group E is very tough. That's actually probably a very entertaining group. If Galatasaray goes into this, or Inter Milan could go into that. They don't. They get Victoria Pleasant, who's just going to get absolutely dominated. We get Galatasaray, so I think our group's very entertaining as well, in the sense that all of us are capable of beating Juventus, but we're also all capable of beating each other. So it'll be about ensuring we get those double victories over Porto and Galatasaray, as Inter Milan grow into the final group, in which they'll probably think that they can get out of themselves. So that's the Champions League group. I think it says we're handed a tough group, which I do partially agree. But I think we can definitely get out of that. Following our league form, I think we can definitely get out of that. I think we can beat Galatasaray both home and away. I think we can definitely beat Porto home and away. And then it's just about maybe if we can nick a result against Juventus, we could even top it. I think I don't think it's impossible for us to top that group. But equally, Juventus could dominate us home and away, as they're a very, very solid side. A few loan offers here, which I'm just going to reject. At this point, I want to hold on to everyone in my squad. Is Terrier loan listed? He's not. He's literally just under attack from every club. Again, apologies if you can hear my keyboard. I'm trying to keep the clicking, the noises to a minimum. And I'm just going to skip all this. I'll come back to this when I'm off screen, because don't be wasting your time just rejecting numerous deals as more come in on last day of the season. So these French sides desperately trying to get extra players in. I'll actually have to respond to them because it is deadline day. And I just want to keep on to all of these players. I'm happy with our squad size. I mean, I probably should have let some of those 18-year-olds go, admittedly, as we have even more. This is ridiculous. I don't think I've ever had a transfer window so busy. Admittedly, I probably should have let some of those 18-year-olds go. But at the same time, I'm not too familiar with this squad. I haven't really looked that deeply into it. So I don't want to end up in a situation where cup games... because unfortunately, I don't think we'll be able to rotate much in the Europa League games. No, the Champions League games. Because we have such a tough group that all the points are so vital. So it's almost worked negatively for us. Because we have to really try. As Monaco play Marseille, that's a very good game. Hopefully I think I'd prefer a draw there, I think. As Marseille do get the wins. They go top of the table, hopefully temporarily. As hopefully we do get a nice result against Nice. It's taken forever to get to this game though, so for that I do apologise. So as you see here, the French transfer window's rounded up. We spent the most money, so maybe that's why we're top of the table. But here we are, finally come up to the Nice game. Fekir gets player of the season and Depay second. Neymar squeezes in there with only one goal. So that I'm a bit sceptical of, because has he got many assists? Oh, what? 6 assists Neymar has? Wow. Okay, I'll take that back. Maybe he does deserve to be on there. 6 assists in 3 games is absolutely astonishing numbers. In that case, I think I am worried about PSG, because that means that Cavani and Mbappe are probably on super hot form, and if 3 of them are maybe just terrorising our team because they're not too used to people attacking them. You've seen that a lot of the style that they come against is just people hoofing it forward, and ultimately, if PSG do go for that option, Neymar and Mbappe are very, very fast, so they could get in behind, and if they do get in behind, they're the types of players that will finish the chances. Montpellier now go top of the table, as they have a goal difference of 9, so they're looking very strong this season as well. So, unless we get a result here against Nice, we're going to be in amongst this bundle of players that are absolutely smashing it. Players in amongst these teams that are absolutely smashing it. So here we have Nice. They are managed by Patrick Vieira, I believe. Balotelli is injured, I saw there, which is great news for us. But as we did see earlier, they're going to play very defensively, which I'm hoping plays into our favour, because it should mean, our defence is very solid. We haven't conceded too many goals. So I'm hoping if they're not really putting the pressure onto us, we will just be able to hold strong. But I think fitness-wise, we're all looking very good still. 96 is the lowest. So I'm just going to keep the team the same and just move forward here as the teams are warming up. Let's just get straight into this and hopefully bag another 3 points to keep our 100% record alive. So here we are, Malang Sarr, an FM 17 favourite. It was obviously a wonder kid. I don't know if he still has that status on the game, but it apparently would be a very good signing. Only 19 years of age, and I'm looking at it, I think he would be a wonder kid. So maybe bring him in next summer, perhaps. That's a very weird free kick tactic I've just witnessed. It's Dombele storming forward. He whips it across to Memphis, and it's an easy goal for us inside, I might as well say, 1 minute. What have we just witnessed there? They've just done the worst free kick tactic I've seen, and Dombele absolutely storms forward. Sometimes they shoot on Football Manager, but he has squared it. Depay, I think, hits the post, but it's ended up in the back of the net, so I'm not complaining. We're 1-0 up inside 2 minutes. But now we can just hold on to this. Mendy, already on a yellow card inside 4 minutes. I think we might see a red card here from him. I think his aggression, from what I've seen him play. Fekir's now through, and he almost beats the goalkeeper. That's a good save. From what I've seen of Mendy, he's quite explosive, so I think he will end up with a second yellow. So I think we will see our first red card here. Actually, we did have a red card in the 6-3 game as well, actually, so it won't be the first. It will be the first that you viewers see, as Hussein can't get it past all the defenders that are blocking the goal. I'm hoping we don't get a red card, because I think this could be the type of game that they capitalise on a red card. It's Dombele now into Mendy, whips it to the back post, but Malang Sarr clears it. Toussaint picks it up out to Dubois. We know he can whip him in lovely, as he does. Memphis is in there, can't quite get his head on it, as now Mendy has a chance. Chooses to go close. Dombele now hoofs it out wide into Dubois, into the box. Fekir's there off the post, and we can't smuggle it in, which is a shame. Fekir now hopefully can beat the first man. Doesn't. Dante is very tall, so I may let him off of that one. And it's another corner. And this looks like one of those games where there's going to be so many highlights that are almost pointless. So half of me does just want to take it off. Extended. Maybe just have key. Let me know how you guys like it. If it's too long for you guys, I could definitely drop that down to key. That's, on all my other offline saves, that is how I play it. I just thought for YouTube, you probably want to see a lot of the 3D action. So if the games are too long, you feel, let me know, and I can definitely drop that down. Wouldn't really affect me at all, because we're still going to see all the goals, all the free kicks and things like that in 3D. It's just we're not going to see everything like corners. And also down in the comment section, just a little bit of a prediction. Do you reckon we'll win the league? If not, where do you reckon we'll finish? And how far do you reckon we'll get in things like the Champions League? Will we end up in Europa League? Will we win the Cup? Just give some, maybe your season predictions below. Just have a bit of fun, and we can always compare them at the end of the season and see, how many people were spot on. Personally, winning the league, I think we will just get beat by PSG home and away, and I think that will be what ultimately decides it for them. Champions League, I don't think we'll win. I think we probably will get through our group. And for the cup, I think we can win the cup. I think we've got good enough form that I think PSG and Monaco will get knocked out by other teams, and I think we will manage to go all the way and pick that up, which I'll consider successful. A bit of silverware in our first season, I'll take that as a success. So that'll be a happy season for me. As Dubois here gets tackled, it's not a penalty, it's a throw-in, because it was a very clean tackle, to be fair. But yeah, not much really happening here. The key thing is for them that their centre mid Danilo is looking anxious, could be because Dembele absolutely stormed it forward earlier on. Mendy now can't quite get past. They have very big centre backs, I've seen, that are really good at blocking the ball. As Beric now can't get it past our centre back, so both team centre backs doing a very solid job here. But they have only had one shot actually, so I think that was it. I think that was the shot we just saw. But as we're slowly creeping towards half time, it is only 1-0. I guess I'm happy with that, because they have not looked threatening at all. I'd love a second just to really get a grip of the game. There's Mendy here. Can he burst forward? He does. Whips it back post to Memphis, who can't guide it in. 2 saves off the line from their goalkeeper, and they scramble it away for another throw-in. At this rate, or VAR comes in, it's clearly not a goal, so a bit of a waste of time. Can skip it. I think I might have clicked record. Mendy now goes for an ambitious throwing. Dembele out to Dubois. Does go straight to the byline. And again, can't get it past. I think that might have been Dante who got his head to it, or Malang Sarr. Dembele out to Mendy. I think Mendy's had the most touches of any footballer in this first half. He absolutely mugs off Jallet there. And we're just at this rate just having pop shots. It's a bit ridiculous. Mendy gets the ball back immediately. Back out to Dubois. The fullbacks are having a whale of a time. Malang Sarr heads away. Dubois picks it up over the crossbar to these these supporters are not looking very happy at the front there. 17 shots to their 1. That, I mean, it is very convincing, but like I said, I want a second. As Memphis picks up their free kicks are awful. I don't know what their set pieces, what they're trying to do with them. Although they say that they've nearly had a clear-cut chance there, but a keeper's equal to it. And again, it's almost become end-to-end stuff here. It's just sort of they're hoofing it forward. I've said hoofing so many times. I need to find some better synonyms for, getting the ball forward. There's only so many times I can say hoofing and route 1. As I just clear my throat, apologies for that. Dubois whips it in. That's a lovely ball. Fekir's equal to it, and their keeper was in no man's land, but unfortunately we bounce it off the post. And again, now Jason Danea has a yellow card as well at the back, so hopefully he keeps his feet to himself. And as you see here at the bottom, focus of attack, 60% was down Mendy's side and only 2% through the middle, despite us playing in the tactics fairly narrow. So as you see, don't focus solely on that completely, because I've set it as fairly narrow, and as you see, our fullbacks are those that absolutely exploit the space. So bear that in mind. And I think for Football Manager, it's a very underrated position. I think fullbacks are, if you have 2 solid fullbacks, I think you're in for a very good time in Football Manager, as it's a disastrous goal. I don't even know what's gone on there, to be honest. It's just bounced around, and their defenders have seemed to kick it in the net. He's had enough. He's just smashed it into the net. But I think fullbacks are very important. If you get 2 fullbacks that are quick, have good crossing, and other fullback features, maybe like good determination, tackling, the likes. If you can find a way to get them to exploit the space, they'll just pump balls into the box all day long, and eventually one of your players will get on the end of it. A bit like that, a bit of a scramble, but we'll take any goal that goes in, quite frankly, as Hussein chases that down. We're into the 49th minute here. Out wide to Danea, into Mendy, Fekir, Dombele out to Mendy again. Who's look at that, acres and acres of space. Back to Dombele. Dubois has a pop shot himself just over the bar. I think the keeper would have been equal to it in all honesty, but good confidence from Dubois. Unfortunately, he hasn't got an assist this game, so he's probably a bit frustrated. Dante gets a second he gets second yellow of his season. First of the game, obviously, for him. Girotto now. Is that a handball? It is indeed. As he's off. He's been sent off. They're down to 10 men. They've just made a sub. I don't know if that was... I don't think that counts. Yeah, I don't think they've done that knowing they had a red card. As Fekir goes close with that free kick. But I'm hoping this game just sort of goes very quickly now. We've seen a lot of nothing highlights. That's another free kick from Fekir. It looks like they're getting very aggressive almost. We've had a lot of free kicks here in the last sort of 5 minutes. Especially considering they just had a red card as Dubois into Memphis. Dombele. The thing I like about Dombele is you'll see Hussein, Fekir, Toussaint often have pop shots at goal anytime they get a bit of space. Dombele always looks for that pass. I think he gets it. He just knows he's not going to smash it in from 25 yards. Looking at him, Marcelo's going to come on for Dineo, who has another yellow card, so we're going to bring him on. Apart from that, again, I'm just going to keep Mendy on. We don't have a left back, so I may have to in January find one on loan, just for situations like this where the game's under control and we need to rest Mendy a little bit. So left back is the priority. So when January comes around, please remind me of that, because I probably will overlook it. It's Memphis pickpockets Danilo there, who looks fired up. Apparently that's not a foul, but whatever. Terrier gets tackled. Back to their goalkeeper, who just route one. It's a common theme, very, very common theme. Dombele, lovely passing from him. Mendy looking a bit tired. He's not doing those runs forward anymore. To the back post, Memphis can't direct it into the goal. 28 shots we've had. Admittedly, only 7 on target, which is shocking. A shocking conversion rate. Fakir's only on a 6.4, so we are going to bring him off. Pineda. If we do that, yeah, they seem to like that a fair amount. We'll do that for now. Toussaint, Dubois goes to the byline, and that's an awful shot. Toussaint into Fekir. Mendy's not really bursting forward like he was. I don't know if that is due to fatigue, but Fakir's got his boots on. Lovely bit of play from him into Toussaint. Hussein, and that's absolutely smashed off their goalkeeper out for a corner. So Fekir will come off now, I believe. So I imagine Pineda may take his corners now. Not too sure. 74th minute. Lovely back heel there from Terrier, I think that was. Into Hussein, out to Mendy. Whips it in, and it's whipped away. Dubois picks up the ball. Toussaint. Pineda. Out wide to Mendy. Whips it in. That's the bad thing about our side, is we don't have the tallest attackers, so maybe these crosses are a bit pointless, because unless the players are running in late, Memphis takes our corners. Unless our players are arriving late and going to get their foot on the end of it, I don't really see us winning many headers. We have, of course, scored headed goals, but that's not going to be, Memphis Depay is not going to score 10 headers a season. Although we've had 32 shots this game. We've been absolutely dominant. That is probably because of the defensive formation they've played, that they've just allowed us to come and attack them. As Dubois obviously come down this right-hand side. I've lost count, to be honest, how many times. As Mendy just absolutely smashes it. And how's that nearly gone in? What are the keepers doing on this game? 80th minute now, 10 minutes to go. I'm kind of wishing it's just over, because I'm a bit tired of just seeing the ball go across the box like 50 times every 5 minutes. We're just knocking it about. Dombele does have his first pop shot of the game. I can see why he doesn't do them very often. Memphis almost wasting time here. Into Toussaint. Terrier. Now Dubois not out here yet. He's making his way over slowly, but out to Mendy, who takes a massive touch, whips it in, and it's out for another throw-in. At this rate, I'm going to have to work on my throw-in set pieces, because we have so many every game that if we can get a tactic nailed down there, it could double our goals at this rate. 35 shots to their 2, 10 on target to their 1, 64% possession. They are played very, very defensive. Yeah, they haven't changed it. Dante's pretty much in the goal himself. As we're into the 90th minute here. Are they coming forward? Is it another late goal? I hope not, as Malang Sarr just holds the ball here for absolutely ages. They do hoof it forward. Have I just jinxed it? I haven't, luckily. Pineda, Mendy, bursts forward one last time. Whips it in again, and it's just headed clear. Common theme. Back out to Mendy. Into Dombele. Back out to Mendy. Mendy whips it in again, so it wasn't his last time as the keeper collects. And he's probably going to do what Malang Sarr did and hold on to it for ages. Which he is. Waits for the striker to make his run. Headed away into Terrier. Maybe I would like to see one more extra goal just to get that 3-0 win. And just really nail in the domination that we've displayed here on a rainy evening in Lyon. Depay into Dubois. Dombele into Terrier. Pineda. Cleared away. They really do smother the ball in that box. That's the end of the game. 37 shots to their 3. I mean, I don't really know what else to say. We'll end it there. And that is going to bring us to the end of today's episode. We are top of the league, 100% win rate. A 4-1 win and a 2-0 win. I'll take that. I think next game, I'll probably bring you perhaps Juventus and Marseille. I think that would be a good double-header. Marseille looking very dominant. Juventus will be our first challenge of the Champions League campaign. So I think that is what we'll do. Next episode, I think it will be Juventus and Marseille. So I'll skip this Kane game myself. I'll come back then. But if you did enjoy today's episode, guys, please drop a like. Subscribe to the channel if you want to see frequent Football Manager content. My aim is to try and get an episode out every day, if not every 2 days, as I do work full time. But my plan is, every day after work, come home and record an episode for you guys. Very dominant so far. I'm happy with our performance. 4 out of 4 in the league. So yeah, if you did enjoy it, drop a like, drop a comment on any tips that I'm missing out on. And I'll catch you next time, guys. See you later.